Within each of us, I know within me, there's a rather furious debate going on as to what kind of person I am going to be and what kind of decisions I am going to make. And to get it down to where it is, there are those voices in my head which would have me make decisions to stay right where I am, to be as comfortable as I am going to get, and to do nothing more beyond which I know today. That voice says, watch SportsCenter again. Eat the Twinkie. That voice says, this world is all there is, and you would do real well not to risk anything beyond which you've already risked to get the status that you have. There's another voice which argues with it somewhat ferociously. And that voice says there's more to this life than you know. That voice says, I've put you here to make a difference. That voice says, and it's not just my voice, but at times, I think it's the voice of God saying, I've put you here to make a difference. Not just an impact for you and for your family and those who love you, because what credit really is it to you if you just impact those that you love? But every person here on this planet, you can help in some way. So put it all at risk in order to achieve something more, because there's a paradise, a way of living beyond which I know. Both of those voices have it out. And to be honest, at times, both of them prevail. Every Monday morning, I'm ready to quit. Church is terrible. Nobody's going to get it. I'm not even sure I get it, for crying out loud. Let's just do something else. Accountants don't have these pressures. I just can't imagine that they do. Perhaps they do. Did I add that number correctly? Let me go check and back and check for the 12th time. But then there's another voice. It's especially encouraged, that other side is especially encouraged when I see people do amazing things. They sacrifice so that someone else can gain. That's huge. And the inspiration that is to me encourages me. And sometimes just beyond whatever it is I see, I hear a voice that I think is Jesus saying, this is how it is. Follow this. And if you can follow that voice, or as Jesus said, if you can let that light shine in your darkness, or if you can let that seed grow, it's another way Jesus put it. If you can hone in on what Christ is trying to say in the midst of this noisy life that you and I are trying to live, there are great things that await us. And what we find is that paradise isn't something that we just lost. It's something that Jesus is trying even now to return. To you, to me, to this world, so that we don't have to live heeding the voices that would have us just stay still and stagnant and be what we are and no more. To me, the resurrection of Jesus is God's way of saying that I want that voice of life to prevail. If you think back to the original conversation Adam and Eve had with the serpent, it's the same dialogue that's going on within you and I. And the resurrection of Jesus is God's way of saying that he wants his voice, Christ's voice, to be the one that we hear and the one that we hear alone. And so what I hope today happens is maybe you and I are able to shift because of our time here today to a place where, pick whichever metaphor you want, where we hone in on the light, we listen for God's voice, we let God's seed grow, whichever it is, in order that the garden, the paradise that we once knew as human beings in our perfect relationships with each other and with God can be restored to us, and it can spread upon this broken world that needs it.